Hotep. The objective of this course is for the student to be able to read the sacred script of our African ancestors. We are all students and we are all teachers. One of the greatest achievements of our African ancestors is the creation of a written language. Written language gave them the ability to leave a permanent record of their thoughts and behaviors, and it gives us the ability to gem f nefer, find the beauty in ourselves. Dr. John Henry Clarke always reminded us that, quote, history is like a clock. It tells us where we've been and where we must go. The current calendar used all around the world is based on the same calendar created by our African ancestors. The African calendar was created over 6,000 years ago and is based on a 12,000 year solar cycle. The solar cycle is represented by the zodiac. It shows the movement of the sun around the solar system and how it travels through 12 distinct regions. We call these regions signs or zodiac signs. The sun remains in each house or sign for 1,000 years. This creates a 12,000 year solar cycle. This rendition of the zodiac can be found in the ceiling at the Temple of Dendera in Egypt. However, the civil calendar, the calendar used for everyday life, is divided into 360 plus 5 days. This segment of calendar includes some of those dates. As we look at this calendar, we can identify day 26. We see Ra day. We see two curved symbols which look like horseshoes. Each of those represent 10, two tens being 20, and we see 6 ones. So this indicates day 26. The calendar continues with day 27, day 28, day 29. The 30th day marked the end of a season. There are 3 seasons of 4 months each, containing 30 days each, for a total of 360 days, plus 5 epigomeno days per civil year. The epigomeno days celebrated the births of the Neteru, Usir, Set, Aset, Nephthys, and Heru. At the end of one season, we have day one of, in this case, the third season. The 3 seasons are Shemu, Peret, Aket. So what we see on this calendar is day one of season 3 or day one of Aket. And as in any calendar, the sequence continues. In this case, we go from day 1 through day 8. Again, we identify Ra, the sun, as day, and we see the numerals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The system that we use now is Hindu Arabic numerals. So we can see that in the Medu Neter, the 3 is 3 vertical strokes. In Hindu Arabic, it's that strange symbol that we call 3. For 48, we have 4 tens and 8 ones. We want to also take note of the symmetry here. The next one is 65. Again, we have 6 tens and 5 ones. At the bottom center, we see 5 tens and 9 ones. The ones are in groups of 3, so we have 3, 6, 9, giving us 59. Also in math, we learn to write these numbers in what's called expanded form. So we have 4 times 100, where the coil rope is 100, and we have 5 times 10, 4 hundreds plus 5 tens. In what we call standard notation, we see 450, which is 4 hundreds, 5 tens, and 0 ones. We can also write this in expanded notation as 4 times 10 to the second plus 5 times 10 to the first. Our ancestors also created and used what we identify today as rational numbers, specifically unit fractions. Rational numbers are numbers such as 1/2, 1/4, 1/16, etc. For this lesson, I have a great example of the decimal or base 10 number system created by Africans thousands of years ago before anyone else on the planet was even writing anything. For this exercise, we will focus on each of the numerals. The first middle Nether symbol represents the Nether Hehe or Aha. The transliteration is HH. We could pronounce this as Hehe or Aha. The second numeral is represented by a tadpole. It is transliterated with the H, F, and N. We will pronounce this as Heffen. Heffen. The third numeral is represented by a boomerang. It is transliterated NHY, and we will pronounce it as Nehi. The fourth numeral is represented by a lotus flower. It is transliterated CHA, and we pronounce it Cha. The next numeral is represented by coiled ropes. It is transliterated SHT, and we pronounce it Shet. The final numeral is represented by what may be door handles. It is sometimes called horseshoe. It is transliterated MDJW, and we will pronounce it Medju. Most of these additional symbols were presented in lessons 1 through 4. The unfamiliar Medu Necha symbol is the carpenter's tool, which is transliterated as KDW, pronounced Kedu. So I would translate this as Nu Kedu M Nisut. However, for this lesson, we're going to focus on the numerals and identifying their value. The numeral for 1 million is represented as the seated Netzer, Hehe or Aha, with his raised arms in praise. The numeral for 1 is represented as a single stroke or a tick mark. There are 3 vertical strokes in front of Nehi, so we know this represents 3 million. So what we see here is the Netzer Hehe with 3 vertical strokes in front. So we can identify this as 3 million. The word for 3 is Kim2. So this is Kim2 Heu, 3 million. Written in Hindu Arabic, we have a 3 with 6 zeros. The numeral for 100,000 is represented by a tadpole, and again is Heffen. In this case, the number 3 is represented by The Medu Neter being written 3 times, or a repetition of 3 of the Hefens. So this would be Hefenu. So 300,000 would be Kemetu Hefenu in words. And in Hindu Arabic, we have a 3 with 5 zeros. The numeral for 10,000 is represented by the boomerang, and one boomerang is Nehi. So again, the number 3 is represented by the Medu Neter being repeated 3 times, and these are boomerangs. So this is Nehi, plural Nehiu. So when we have 3 10,000s, we have Kemtu Nehiu, which is 3 10,000s, Kemtu Nehiu. And again, in Hindu Arabic, we would write this as a 3 with 4 zeros. The number for 1,000, or the numeral for 1,000, is represented by 1 lotus flower. And again, we see we have 3 lotus flowers in this case. So as the pattern continues, the number 3 is represented by the Medu Neter being repeated 3 times. So we have Chau, the plural of Cha, or plural of 1,000. And we have 3 of them. So this is Kem2 Chau, 3 1,000s. Again, in Hindu Arabic, we have a 3 in the thousands place with 3 zeros. The numeral for 100 is represented by a rope, and we would identify this as Shet. And it would be Shetu because there are 3 of them. And again, rather than 3 strokes, we simply have 3 Shets representing 3 times the number, or 3 times 100. Kem2, Shetu would be 3 100s. Again, Hindu Arabic, it's a 3 with 2 zeros. And again, the numeral for 10 is represented by what is often called a horseshoe shape. I'm not sure if it is a horseshoe or a door handle. It is, again, Meju. And of course, if I have 3 Meju, that would be Meju, Kem2 Meju, 3 10s, or a 3 with a 0 in one's place. So just as we do in standard numbers, we would read this number from left to right, again into the face of the neter, or the birds, or the tadpoles. And what we see is we have 3,300,000, 3 10,000s, 3,000s, 300s, and 3 10s. The way we write this currently, in standard form, it would be 3,333,330. That is considered standard notation. Expanded notation, we have 3,300,000, 30,000, 3,330. For a more extensive study of this subject, I refer you to this book by Richard J. Gillings. It is called Mathematics in the Time of the Pharaohs. This has basically just been an introduction to the number system. This is the end of lesson 5, Shem Hotep.